Hi everyone, the last Shoegazer here, back with another installment of About Last Nightmare. If you guys have been tuning into this, you know that this is the collaborative movie review series that I've been doing with my great friend Jason from Horrific Nightmares JM. And lately we've been working through the Subspecies franchise from Full Moon and Ted Nicolau, who directs the films. And we checked out the fourth installment, Subspecies 4, Bloodstorm, which, if you're considering the Vampire Journals installment as part 4, this is almost part 5. If you kind of slide that in between part 3, Bloodlust, and Bloodstorm here. So we talked about Subspecies, Subspecies 2, the Bloodstone, Subspecies 3, Bloodlust, and then last week we covered Vampire Journals, and now Bloodstorm, Subspecies 4. Now, just a heads up on this. This is actually not a DVD that you're looking at here. This is just a print off of the cover of the movie. I actually did not purchase this on DVD yet. I intend to. But I actually watched this on YouTube. And actually, it was an extended cut of the film. Which, it's funny, we found that out the hard way. Jason was watching his DVD edition of the film, and he knew that I was going to be watching this on YouTube, which was sort of a first for our About Last Nightmare sessions. We, up until now, have had copies of the film that we were both watching. But yeah, I would say maybe around the halfway point, he was commenting on something, and I thought, what the heck are you talking about? And I realized that we were kind of not in sync anymore, and he was seeing something that I wasn't. So I gave him a heads up, and he kind of did some research and found out that the edition that I was watching on YouTube, which actually had Spanish subtitles, was sort of an extended cut that he wasn't aware of, nor was I, that added about 5 minutes to the DVD edition that he was watching. So he actually pulled it up on YouTube himself so he could watch what I was watching, and he actually kept his DVD playing and got them in sync. And at one point he said, dude, I'm watching this in stereo right now. So he wanted to see where, there were differences in his edition versus, the cut that I started with, that he ended up watching. But I think that at that time it kind of stayed in sync for the remainder of our movie watching night last night. So it was kind of a fun random thing that happened there. But I do plan on getting this on DVD at some point. This is the only release that has only been put out on DVD. It has not seen a Blu-ray release yet, as the other, the first 3 Subspecies installments, as well as Vampire Journals, which he and I both have all of those releases on Blu-ray. So yeah, we're kind of, curious as to why this has not seen a Full Moon Blu-ray treatment yet, but it might have just been easier to kind of group the first 3 together to kind of put them out in maybe like a trilogy pack, make it a little bit more marketable. I'm not sure. The first 3 do go really seamlessly one after the other, and it's kind of interrupted by Vampire Journals. That definitely has a different yet similar vibe. As I said last week, it plays a lot like Interview with the Vampire. It has a little bit more of a gothic kind of feel to it, whereas all of the Subspecies films, including this one, have a little bit more of a gory, brutal kind of approach. Yeah, I really like this one. Jason and I both agree this is a solid 9 out of 10. I kind of went into this thinking that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much as I did, but I did. I thought that it pulled a lot of loose ends together from where part 3 kind of left off, and what we got from Vampire Journals. It brought Ash into the mix. Radu kind of collides with Ash's world in a really cool way. And seeing their two characters kind of at odds, and what goes on in this film to kind of bring some closure to everything. It really makes Vampire Journals sit really well with the Subspecies installments. This one didn't have Radu's mommy, as he called her, which I kind of missed out on, because as she was introduced in the second and third installments, I was really into that whole feel of the movie, where we kind of went down into the dark, like dungeony kind of setting, and her makeup and acting was just so disturbing and really, really awesome. Aside from that, even though I missed her character a little bit, Radu, played by Anders Hove, he was just once again on point. The opening scene just completely grossed me out and blew me away. Really, really cool. Awesome special effects, as usual. Everything's practical, very, very gory, really intense, bloody. So those elements within Subspecies 4 here, Bloodstorm, stayed true to the first three before we got the more seductive kind of approach to Vampire Journals. But like I said, this plays really well on the first three Subspecies films, pulls a lot of loose ends together, ties in Vampire Journals really well. I just thought this was a really nice close to the franchise. And Jason really likes this one as well. Fun fact, he mentioned right as soon as we were starting this last night, that last night marked 15 years approximately since he last saw Bloodstorm. So I thought that was really cool, that he hadn't seen it in so long, and it was my first time seeing it. Subspecies being such a important franchise to him, and now me as well. So that just was really cool, and the fact that we were watching different cuts and had to kind of figure things out there, we were kind of laughing at ourselves, trying to play catch up, and okay, where are you at? What are you seeing? So it was a neat final experience with our study of the Subspecies franchise here, and sharing it with all of you guys. I know a number of you who are commenting on our videos have seen this. A number of you have not, but I do recommend kind of going in order, the original part 2, part 3, then seeing Vampire Journals, and then watching part 4 here, which is technically part 5. But yeah, if you're looking to get a hold of these, like I said, Full Moon has the first 3 as well as Vampire Journals on a nice Blu-ray edition, whereas this one you're just going to find this on DVD, but for pretty cheap. I just was a little bit late in the game ordering it, and I thought I'd hold off and just watch it on YouTube. Like I said, if you watch that one, it's the one with Spanish subtitles. If it's still up, by the time you want to watch it, you never know when things get pulled down or aren't available anymore. But that's the one I watched, and like I said, it added 5 minutes to the regular version here that is the Blu-ray release that Jason watched. So this it wasn't as atmospheric as some of the earlier installments. It was kind of in the city, in the crypt, down below the earth. I kind of missed the castle kind of atmosphere and setting that we saw earlier in the series, but it was fitting to the story. Vampire Journals, was in a similar setting, so it made sense that it kind of picked up there. But yeah, I love that this series is all filmed on location in Romania, like Transylvania area. The use of historic landmarks, the actual castle that they filmed, some of the movies in. I love it. So, like I said, 9 out of 10 for both Jason and I. This does bring to a close our reviews for the Subspecies franchise. Please, guys, let us know what you think of our take on all these films. We do recommend them if you're a fan of vampire lore, and Interview with a Vampire. I definitely recommend checking out Vampire Journals if you're a fan of that one. They play very, very similarly. But that wraps it up for this one. We're going to jump into a whole different movie next week for About Last Nightmare. But yeah, as always, check out Jason's part 1. Thanks for watching my part here, part 2. And until next nightmare, guys, we'll catch you later.